I feel shame. I feel guilty. Anytime I think about this event, shame is what I feel. What will happen if someone knows about this? I cannot forgive myself. It's embarrassing. This is the worst situation of my life. I feel shame. Well, would you like to face this situation? Would you like to talk about this? It is not acceptable. That is how we speak to ourselves. Okay, what is the thing that makes you feel shame? What is the thing that makes you feel guilty about something? What is the thing that you think that you deserve punishment? Well, this is a very good topic to coach and talk about. What we feel shame about is not the event. It is the consequence we create and we believe that comes with the event. I'll give you an example. You did something in the past and you prefer to keep that hidden in some way instead of seeing, observing what is the hidden message of that event. You might be somebody now, like me, as an adult, that looks behind of he or she's life and she finds points where he or we are feeling that there was not enough presence. We are feeling the regret of that consequence. We are feeling the weight of carrying the noise of thinking, I should have done it better, different. I should have avoided this consequence and it was in my hand. And now I'm paying the price and I deserve any negative energy that comes with this. And also, if I have to isolate myself, keep myself away, I deserve it. So the price of feeling shame is not something that happens at once. It follows us throughout all our life. If we are not aware or careful enough to have as a target what is really making us feel shame, we are losing something very important, which is present from now and being devoid of inhibition. So when we feel shame about something, the interesting here is, are we looking at what happens or are we looking at what we think that comes with that mistake or with that event? How do we measure ourselves? Something might be categorized as shame, or we might give it the meaning that this doesn't align or this is not acceptable. Yeah, but from which point are we looking at this? Because maybe at that time it was. You are having some drinks with some friends, someone falls in the ground, and the second day it's a broken leg or the arm or whatever, and we judge that person. How is it from the state of not being drunk? How is it that you fell down in the ground? You don't take care of yourself. This cannot happen again. Instantly we feel shame. I shouldn't have gone out. I shouldn't have drunk. I shouldn't have got to that level. I can avoid this. It's my responsibility. It is my fault. I am stupid. So we speak to ourselves like this. And shame, what does is it creates the inhibition for us to continue and allow ourselves to be free and enjoy. Because something happens, it doesn't represent the whole extension of our lives. Therefore, when we feel shame, we get stuck in that very thing that happens. Now, if we analyze why that person was drunk and he fell down, it will make perfect sense, the whole sequence. Why? Because obviously there is an imbalance. There is a fluctuation of the awareness at that moment. So the probability of falling in the ground because you are drunk, it is much more higher than when you are not. So why do I have to feel shame about this? When the circumstance is already creating a concordance with what will happen. And also, that's not me. I fell down in the ground, yes, but that's in the past. Right now, I am here dealing with this, facing it, seeing the hidden message. Maybe the message is to trust myself. Maybe the message is to know where is the line, where if I cross it, there is a consequence. Not as shame, but as protection, self-worth, self-esteem, self-value, self-respect. Now I'm choosing not to do it. It doesn't come out of fear. It comes out of the alignment of knowing that this for me in a long time is useful. Another example, this happens a lot with adults that they are parents. When they look at their kids behind, oh, I feel shame because I did this. I wasn't present. I didn't give them this. I was maybe when they were younger, I was having fun with my friends and I wasn't taking attention of my kids. I wasn't for them. Now I feel shame about that. Okay, let me tell you something. What's the value? What happens in the past? What's the value? The conclusion we take from the past. Also, what's the value? The punishment that we want to keep with ourselves. The self-compassion that we want to literally carry the weight of the punishment, or we definitely get attached to the resentment, to that regret, because it makes us pay the price. I did wrong, I'll pay the price, carrying resentment. Now, everybody served. I made a mistake, I am shamed, and therefore I have my punishment. That is the level of treatment that we give to ourselves sometimes, conscious and unconsciously. Now, when I try to coach someone and they're feeling shame about something, we try to see, using questions very, very, very simple like this. The shame is coming from what people think, how society will view this? Because when we analyze this, we end up seeing that there is the piece of the puzzle missing in the game, which is you, which is your value, your genuine value about the event. Sometimes that is missing. Why? Because we don't value the act of shame from what we genuinely think and how we see it from a different context. We value it because it is rated from society. We have been programmed as a category that if this happens, it is known as shame. So therefore, we don't get into the questioning, we don't get into the observation, because we follow the protocol, we follow the programming. It is already placed as shame, as valuable, as acceptable as a punishment. So when we measure these things, are we doing it from what we are as the owner of the pain, not the owner of who did this? We already know that it happens and we have some implication in it. But we want to be the owner of who is observing. The ultimate validation, does it come from the heart or it comes from a thought or what we think or from the mind? Or what society expects from us? So when I look behind and I see that, okay, my kid was 4, 5, whatever, and I was sleeping, I was playing games, I was drunk, I was partying, and I didn't give my child at that time the attention, I will go and see, okay, who is this valuable for? Am I seeing the whole context that I wasn't at that point? I couldn't do it better. I wasn't able to have more options. That's the first thing. People cannot do it differently than the way they're doing it. Not because they're incapable of it. It is because there is no options at that time for them. Many doors are locked. Many options are locked. It is just a simple lack of awareness, which is human. I cannot expect a child of 3 years old to speak fluently, to walk without falling in the ground. I'll keep my child 10 days without calling in the phone, at home, and everything will be okay. I can do that with someone that's 25, 26, 20, even 18, but with a 3-year-old person, I cannot expect from him that. That's the compassion to understand that sometimes we cannot expect from ourselves to have the tools, the access to more opportunities or to more, I'm finding the connotation, but I would say to create more options when it comes to responding to a situation. So I can respond to a situation with more options when I'm in the state of awareness, in the state of love, and I'm grounded enough because I have mistakes. I have built the foundations of repetitions. So this video is to show you that sometimes the absence of repetitions with something will determine and will show the outcome we have. So, sorry. When we feel shame, it's because there is a lack of repetition, of analyzing and questioning and willing to know the background, the context, the whole element. It is very easy to judge the fact that we did something, ignoring the context in which that happened, ignoring the context in which we are seeing it from now. Because the who that is seeing it, the words that we want to see, the time and the space from where we want to see has an implication on it straight away. I'll give you an example. For example, imagine you did something that is within you 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and you are keeping it inside. No matter who, what, you don't feel the confidence to bring it up and share it because the weight of the consequence is so heavy that you prefer not to talk about it. Now, let's love this person. Let's bring quality attention to this person. Let's analyze this person without judging him or her. And let's see what is happening, what is going on. Now, the reason why this person, first of all, doesn't want to be open to this is because they are not in the space. This is why you find out someone that he finds um, more comfortable, much more easier to be open and share things with some people, and with some people they cannot. Why? Because we are all energies, we are all spirits, we are all souls, we are vibrating. So when you feel that you are in a state where the vibration is your home, you are safe, you are more open, there's an intention to share and face things. Even if it's uncomfortable, the state makes it available, possible. The possibility is there. So, first of all, not judging this person, we will ask if he or she has the opportunity to find themselves in a state where they can bring this up. Are we analyzing this with friends, with our partners, with our parents, with the same people that happen to? Now the result is going to be different. Because if you are feeling shame of what you did to me, when it comes to explain yourself in front of me, there is an impact on that. Maybe the shame is higher. Maybe the regret and the guilt is stronger because you are in front of me. So that state can close the options and can create an inhibition for you to move on and share what you think. Now, let's say you did it to me, but you are in a state with someone that makes you feel confident and gives you the trust to know that there is no judgment. Now we are loving this person, we are respecting this person, and we are seeing the whole context. And now we can say, hold on 1 second, please, I want you to share this, extracting yourself to that very time that happens, with all the conditions. I don't want you to analyze this from here, because here you will judge it. You will see the difference that wasn't there. You will see the options that you didn't have at that point. That is the key. So this will help you understand yourself, that many things happens and it makes perfect sense in that context. You are feeling hungry, you are fasting, or you decide not to eat, and you are walking, exploring a beautiful city, and all of a sudden, you find yourself in a street where it's just smelling good food. Any side of the street is a nice restaurant, smelling good food. The first one you say no, the second one you say no, number 10 you say no. One of them says, we have the first plate as an invitation. We do this, and it's something that you like. And you say, you know what? I'll think about this later. Let me sort out this. And you end up eating. Now, when you finish to eat, this is how the ego plays. It brings you the guilty of, you break the promise with yourself. You didn't respect the choice that you had of not eating. So it's a cycle. And that's where the shame comes. I am not capable enough to sustain my promises. And this is a stone that we carry in all our life. Now, when we go to that context and we see the whole game, he or she's crossing the street, restaurants, the smell of the food, the good vibe. And that was time. And the option and the selection she had was perfect. It's very easy to judge someone and say, no, that's not valuable for me. You can cross a street where it's full of restaurants and you don't want to eat. That's you are looking at it from now. You are adding the options of the discipline or even the stubbornness to say just the fact that I want to keep my promises, I will do this. That option wasn't there. So how can we judge it from here when that context is missing? So this is the game of knowing how to play with the context, which is you, and it will change. The content, which is you, and it will change. But you are not the content. The content is happening as life, but you are the context, which you always understand. When I was 4, I did this. When I was 20, I did this. When I was 30, I did this. Now I am 40, 50, 60, I'm doing this. That's the context of what you are. And it will make perfect sense. You might not like reading books right now. Or maybe you love reading books. But 10 years ago, you say, yeah, I was reading books. Sometimes we read books, sometimes we study books. That's a huge difference. So the more you get used to books, you end up studying books. You end up applying what the book is saying. You become, and you allow that book to become one with you because it resonates, you enjoy it. That is the game. So everything in life has to be seen from the context of when it happens, remembering ourselves who is seeing it, how, the time, the space. Because if I'm judging the person that went into the restaurant from my house, it's not the same context. You need to go to that street, smell that food, stay in that context, how that person was. We don't know how many hours it was without eating. Then we will understand. So this is very easy. When someone tries to wear your shoes, just trying to wear your shoes, they will understand why you walk in that way. So I encourage you to love yourself and to understand that if you are walking in life this way, because you are wearing those shoes, and the only person that can understand why it is you. Now, the lack of understanding, sometimes we pay for it. Ignorance is one of the most expensive energies in the human beings. Why? Because ignorance is the door, is the filter of feeling safe or not. Innocence is another energy that we pay a lot in life, but that is intrinsic to human beings. That's the very energy we need to recognize in order not to judge ourselves. When we recognize the innocence in us as animals, as human beings, then the pressure of judging will slow down. If you come to me and you say, Ralph, taste this food, taste this tool, take this program, take this training, and you explain it to me in a beautiful way, in a way that connects with everything, guess what? There is a yes. Now, with time, you discover it's a lie. Would I punish myself? No. I'm human. Being naive is intrinsic. Having the innocence to trust you is human. Now, if I know that this can happen and I avoid testing it, then I'm being ignorant. That is painful. So sometimes knowing that we have options to deal with energies and not doing anything, being passive or detached, that's dangerous. That's why this video is. This video is not for anyone. This video is for people who are in the state of acknowledging the difference between being innocent and ignorant. And they are done with energies that they are sustaining. The energy is taking the direction of their life. I had a friend of mine, he said, in your videos, you speak too low, so slow. And I understand it. Why? Because depending on the color of the glasses you wear, you will see the world you want to see. So in internet, you have fast videos, good thumbnails, and images. We'll get to that point. But this is what I am. I live in slow motion. I love it because life, everything is slow. Look at yourself in a plane. Look at a bird flying. Look when you drive. Look at how you breathe. Everything is in slow motion. Now, you are perfect as you are. You don't need to be like anyone else. But when it comes to digesting this kind of issues, it has to be explained in a way that the person listening can be unfolding and resonating with it. So shame is not an energy to explain very fast and give quick solutions. Shame is an energy to explain that it comes from the ignorance of knowing how dangerous it is. And it comes from the innocence of not recognizing that it is intrinsic to human beings. Someone can come and program your mind perfectly. Why? Because you are human. Not because you are stupid. Not because you are less. Not because you are weak. No. It's because you are human. That's why we believe in stories. That's the origin of beliefs. We believe something that someone tells us, or we read it, or we are being trained and programmed. So let's give ourselves some respect, some love, some attention. Shame is one of the most highest energies when it comes to inhibition, when it comes to self-destruction. It can destruct your life easily. Why? Because you carry the weight of the punishment, of the regret, of the guilt. And also you ignore who is valorating it, who is really analyzing it. You leave that in the hands of the external world. I'm feeling shame because from external view, this is not acceptable. This has to be punished. Instead of seeing it, I'm seeing it like this, but am I in the observation of this? Am I into the group of analyzing, studying? Imagine that you are in a court and you have the judge. Am I there judging this from love, from understanding, from expansion? Sometimes with shame, we don't do it. With guilt, we don't do it. So that's why it's so heavy. So if you are a partner or father or grandmother or whatever you are right now, and you feel shame of some event in the past, please let's see the whole context. Let's go there with this context of growth, with this context of difference. Let's go and see, and we'll understand that it happened and it was perfect at that time. Why? Everything was matched and aligned. The resources we have, the opportunities we have, the moment it happened, every single event in your life can be seen from a context that will make you understand that first, you are humans. Second, the brain is limited. I cannot understand many things from the brain. It is limited from logic. And the third one is, without love, how am I going to see myself which I'm love? So the absence of love will always eclipse the energy and the state we are. If we want to elevate this state, if we want to become wiser, we have to bring the energy of love to ourselves. So why should I feel shame of something that happened in a different context? And it happened because I'm human, I was naive, I was ignorant. Even if you did it from being wicked, now it's not valuable. Because I'm very sure that if you are listening to this video, you are not drawn to nonsense and to be, doing stupid things. Someone that watched these videos because he's in a state now that he know or she knows the kind of fuel that she wants emotionally, spiritually, and physically. That's why you watch this video. So it's not for anyone. Life is perfect as it is. Everybody is where they want to be. But my spiritual responsibility is to share what works, is to share what can serve the mankind, what can serve people, because I am people. So as a life coach, which you can be the coach of yourself, I invite you to acknowledge the weight of carrying shame. I invite you to see how you speak to yourself. And to be honest, if there is love when you value yourself. To see if that value is from the society or is from you. To understand the difference with something that happens, an experience, and the context of what you are as life. A changing source. Today you like wine, 10 years you don't drink wine. Today you smoke weed, 10 years you don't smoke weed. Today you are not speaking to your brother, your sister, 15 years you are speaking to your brother and your sister. You are the context. So what you will not forgive today, you might have the option open to forgive it tomorrow. All depends on how attached you are to what brings to you sustaining that mentality. I will say this in another word to finish the audio. The source that you extract from holding a belief will show how long that belief will stay with you. If I think that nourishing my spiritual realm, an emotional state, and physique, if I hold that belief, it will determine how long I will be in that state. What is the juice or the source I'm extracting from this? Is effective, powerful, it makes me feel alive, my life makes sense right now. How can I be a coach and not have a YouTube channel? How can I know about things that works and take it to the grave? How can I be in society as a gift of life and not contribute? How can I be given a physique and ignore that think of this I can explore a world like this? How can I ignore my emotional state? If I am able to drink a glass of wine, I'm able to invest in a book, in a coach, in a training, in a therapist, psychologist. If I have money to spend buying new clothes and cars and material, I have money to nourish my mind and my spirit. If I am able to recognize what we are as love, then I'm living a life that is devoid of negative energies. So I am sustaining this belief because it's pragmatically effective. And the reward is instant. The same way that you are feeling studying this video. So don't just watch it, study it, extract the source, which is you, apply it straight away tonight. I feel shame of this. Okay, let me face it. First, extract yourself to a state where judgment will be out, love will be in. You might not be able to see this at home. Okay, let me go for a walk with the dogs. Let me go to a restaurant and find a corner and sit down, have a lovely coffee and sit. This state is very important. Now, what you want to see, how you want to look at the time is important. So when you analyze something in the mornings, it's not the same at the end of the day. So everything comes here. Then Be compassionate with yourself. I am human. I am human. I have to be, I am innocent. I have to be naive. Love yourself and apply it and use it. And from there, we can start to take all the bag of potatoes in a form of shame and see all of them and reuse the potatoes and, cut them and make a lovely meal with them. So we use the energy of shame as the very fuel to love ourselves and never abandon ourselves again. Because when you don't abandon yourself, you will never feel alone. Thank you very much for watching this video. I don't need to see you to love you, to appreciate you, because you exist. I pray from the heart, from my heart to your heart, all the best. Okay? Get rid of shame. Get rid of those things. It's your time. Take very good care. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.